Hello StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Hydra and Elazer on Ruins of Seras. In the bottom right side of the map we have the red Zerg player, it is Elazer. And in the bottom left side of the map we have the blue Zerg player, it is Hydra. So a ZVZ here from Katowice 2016, one of the better ZVZs I've ever seen, and I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. And let's get right on into it. Looks like both players are going for a hatched first build, just based on the fact that there's not actually a spawning pool or an extractor yet for either of these two players. Just waiting to get to 300 minerals, I'll throw that down. Ruins of Seras is great for macro games because the rush distances are long, rather. There's a nice easy place for your third here and here, based on where these players spawned. The Zone like a Watchtowers don't actually cover a whole lot of area, so you can hide stuff from players really well. And there are just so many bases, and it's easy to go from base to base to base to base and kind of keep them all protected. But we'll see how well they do at protecting them this game. Alright, like I said, hatch first coming out here. Looks like a spawning pool from Elazer, but immediately into an extractor for Hydra. Now, Hydra is a Korean StarCraft 2 player. He's been known for his aggressive builds ever since Heart of the Swarm. Elazer, on the other hand, is from Poland. He is representing the team True Esport, and he is a little bit more of a standard type of player. Don't expect to see anything too nuts from him as far as aggression goes. And Hydra actually, we'll see how he does, how many lings he gets, how many roaches he gets early on, but I wouldn't be surprised to see like a 4 or 5 minute timing push just come with a ton of roaches out for Elazer. Ling Baneling can also be fairly popular in this matchup. If one player goes for it, you almost have to go for it on the other side unless you can get roaches out soon enough. So we'll see after the spawning pool finishes for these players if we move directly into Banelings or into Roaches. On this map, Banelings might seem a little bit better just because that brush distance is longer. Like I said, Roaches without speed or take a little bit longer to get all the way across the map here. And Banelings and Speedlings are much more easily able to navigate that distance. So immediately into 4 lings here for Hydra, a Spinecrawler actually on the way, a defensive Spinecrawler for Elazer. He is worried about ling pressure, and that can actually help quite a bit to have a Spinecrawler up. It does cost a single worker, so a lot of players don't like to do that this early on in the game. As we can see here, it's 20-19. Hydra is up 1 as Elazer did throw down that Spine. Getting a couple lings of his own, going to send them on out to do some scouting. Nobody's really scouted that much yet. They haven't really gotten to the other bases to this point, and yes, indeed, it is going to be a Baneling nest from Hydra. So Hydra going for that speed, Baneling open, that aggression that is so ingrained into his playstyle and so darn fun to watch. Meanwhile, Elazer is doing what? He's spreading creep, he's getting queens, he has that Spinecrawler, he has a couple lings of his own, and I think he's just going to go ahead and kind of try to drone here. So one scouting ling does finally get across the map, two actually. One of them dies immediately to the 2 queens. Good placements there from Elazer, denying that scout from Hydra. But Elazer needs to make a choice here. He's going to go Banelings or he's going to go Roaches, because this early game you can't really just go for straight slow lings as he's doing. He's not even getting speed for his lings here. There it is. Metabolic boost is still available to be researched, and there's the Baneling nest. And look at this. Hydra has a bunch of gas at the bank, a bunch of minerals there too. He might just pump out a ton of lings and start going for it here, but no, 7, 8, 9 drones in production, so he's just droning up 2. I think maybe he was intending to use these Banelings defensively if Elazer planned to show up with a ton of Speedlings or whatnot, but as it stands, Elazer has no such illusions. That's what he's going to do. Instead, I think he might be going for a quick third base, as there's the wall. Queen, queen, queen. Evolution chamber, a creep tumor is going to hold to whatever Hydra can get through there. That's a nice wall, especially if the Spinecrawler is placed a little bit more close. There it is, a little bit more close to the action. Can be very nice indeed. So here comes some Speedlings from Hydra, but like I said, production tab doesn't show him being really too interested in going for Speedlings. Getting 2 evolution chambers, nope, rather that's a Roach Warren of his own there, and a lair. Roach Warren is on the way for a Elazer, but like I said, that seems like it was late, even though it's just a little bit ahead of Hydra's to this point. So we're going to zoom a little bit out, take a look at what we can see. +1 missile attack is on the way. The Queens want to go out there, but at the same time, they want to hold. Whoa, the Lings can get through. Ah, that's so annoying. Not many of them, but for the scouting potential alone, that was a pretty good move from Hydra. Gets right on inside. All the lings are dead, but a single one. He sees the gas count. He sees only 2 extractors up here for Elazer right now. Meanwhile, Hydra does have 3. He hasn't taken that 4th one quite yet. Third base on the way for Hydra, and a third base just now starting for Elazer. Roaches on the way for Elazer, 6 at a time. Like I said, +1 missile attack coming up to a lair of his own. Both players doing fairly similar styles at this moment, but it's 48-36 harvesters. Hydra really starting to catch up, actually move ahead, make some distance in that worker count. Can the Queens kill these lings before they get inside? Roach is in position to actually take them down, and no, good angling there. Oh, but it does get caught by that second group of roaches popping out right now. Let's see, roach count is 6-0. Hydra has nothing. Hydra has 46 workers, an overseer, and now 3 roaches in production. But that is it for him. So if Elazer can get some damage done with this early push, he might actually be in a pretty good spot. That third base is not defended by anything right now for Hydra. Glial Reconstitution coming up for both of these players right on now. And just holding the watchtower is Elazer. He has really no intentions of doing anything else. Queen's trying to stab away that overseer. Good scouting again by Hydra. I don't know how the scouting... There's an overseer for Elazer now popping on in, seeing the Roach Warren and seeing the second evolution chamber there too. Not too much of a surprise on that end to see those evolution chambers, but at the same time, good to know that that is something that Hydra is doing. So again, it's just roaches, it's upgrades, it's creep spread. It's a scouting roach trying to get on in here and see if there's a third base for his opponent, and there definitely is. Based on the queen positioning there, there's no way. There's no way that's not what's going on. And he sees it anyway here. He does actually have Changeling. Zergling Changeling mixed on in there. He's following one of the drones, which is kind of fun. Now he's moving back on out, not seen by anything. Oh, does get scouted and sniped down by Elazer. Spire on the way for Hydra. That seems to be where he's going here with the Mutas. Mutas, if you catch your opponent off guard, can actually do a lot of damage in ZVZ. They don't have the Spore Crawlers, they don't have Infestors, they don't have Queens. It can actually cause them quite a bit of trouble, which I think is what Hydra has in mind here. He's still getting Roaches, he's still getting Ravagers, +1 Carapace on the way. Same thing for Elazer, and +2 missile attack being researched by both of these players. Overlords for Elazer, scouting out potential places where his opponent could be taking his 4th base, making sure that nobody runs through here to take a quick ninja expansion. This base and this base, these paths are covered by that Overlord. That's exactly what he's going for. So here comes some Roaches and some Ravagers. Again, they have the +1 missile attack, and that's it right now. Creep spread continuing for Elazer. I like this, giving him early advance warning to when these pushes are coming. Corrosive Bile being used. Nice dodge! I love Overlord Corrosive Bile dodge. It's so slow, but it works because it takes a while for the Corrosive Bile to get there. Creep Tumor sniped right on down by Hydra, not letting that happen, not right in his face. Another Tumor going down. This Overlord is dodging for his own life. Trying to get out of there. More Creep Tumors dying. Is there an Overseer? There is an Overseer. Pushing all this creep back is Hydra. Nicely done. And that's so annoying because that recedes very quickly in Legacy of the Void. Can they kill this Overseer? The Queens are trying to get there. Couple more volleys, and it does get taken down. And some free Overlord here too. Is that enough to supply block Hydra? No, it is not, but it is an annoyance for sure. 7 Hydras, or Mutalisks rather, on the way for Hydra. And no Spore Crawlers, no Queens here. Okay, 1 Queen at each base, but that's not nearly enough to deal with a flock of Mutas. Where are they? Where are the Mutas going to go? Down south along this way. That is covered only by Hydra's Overlords, mind you. This one might give some early warning. Is it going to be early enough, though? I do not know. Mutaflock, again, being super, super cautious, trying to fly around areas where they cannot be seen. But no, scouted! Elazer's forces do see them. And actually getting a few units sniped down here. Just going for it now as Elazer. Basically maxed out 186 total supply. He is losing Ravagers to these Mutas, though. In production back home for Elazer, reducing more Roaches. A Hydralisk then immediately in response to these Mutas that he did not know about just a couple of seconds ago. But a lot of Roaches and Ravagers are dying to this small group, this small flock of Mutas who fly on in and getting sniped down. Is that Queen? No, the Queen lives. Queen lives to actually stab some spines on up there. And no, all these workers going down. Look out, workers! No! Oh, gosh. The worker massacre is real, man. 2 Queens trying to stab these guys away. Not going to happen. 6 workers dying immediately there. 63 to 58 Harvesters in favor of Hydra. Both players essentially maxed out right now. Roach Ravager going to be the order of the day here at the 8-minute mark. Big attack. Corrosive Bile is being thrown on. Actually getting a couple hits there. Killing a Roach there for Hydra. Nicely done indeed. Dancing back and forth. The Mutas, do they fly back in? They do. They're flying back in, trying to kill this Spore Crawler and this Queen, getting as many drones as they can. They do get the Spore Crawler, and they do get a ton of drones there too. Can they get this Queen at the same time? A lot of Queens coming down to assist, and this Queen does manage to survive with the help of a Transfuse. Big time Corrosive Bile's landing, and actually making a couple hits there on the behalf of Elazer. He's got to feel good about that. Burrow move on the way for Hydra, though. Have to feel bad about that if you're Elazer. Burrow Roach can be really good in situations like this. Elazer's Overseer count is currently 1. He has 1. Probably wants more than that eventually. And dancing. Whew, excuse me there. A bit of a sneeze there off my microphone. Nice Corrosive Bile line, but a Ravager dying on Hydra's side too. Muta's just flying around trying to kill as many Overlords and Workers and Queens as they can. Not enough to supply block Elazer. Oh no, it is enough to supply block Elazer. He had exactly the number of Overlords required to get 200 supply. He was not oversupplied at all. That's kind of hilarious. So he makes 2 Overlords to reproduce the one that died. He's getting muscular augments. He is getting ground carapace level 2. And yeah, taking a 4th base now is Hydra. Is a 4th base on the way for Elazer. I don't see one anywhere. He's got an infestation pit. Moving those Banelings in now for Hydra. Banelings very good against Hydralisks. Corrosive Bile is being thrown on down once again and getting a couple hits there. Both players not super interested in engaging here. +2, +1, and for both of these players, even upgrades to this point. I don't know who has the bigger army right now. But splitting off a small army here, trying to come from both sides with a pincer attack, is Elazer, and forcing Hydra to push back to the safety of his own 3rd base. There's a small group of roaches going to go ahead and kill this hatchery up here too. Meanwhile, roaches for Hydra coming on in to kill as many workers and extractors as they possibly can, waiting for defensive roaches to show on up if they can. Corrosive Bile is being tossed down, and Elazer a little bit outnumbered at this particular location, but he is killing a base. He does take the hatchery down. These roaches are burrow move roaches, exactly what I was worried about for Elazer. Burrow move roaches trying to sneak on in here. Roaches and Hydras following them. They can see them to a certain extent, I think. Where is that Overseer? There it is. It finally does morph, but they are out of range. They're going to move right up in here. There is a Spore Crawler to scout those suckers out, though. They're going to pop, kill as many drones as they can. To this point, it is 12-1 workers killed in favor of Hydra. These guys are dead. I mean, there's an Overseer. There are roaches. There are Hydras mixed in here, too. There's a Spore Crawler. So they're absolutely going to die, probably below ground rather than above ground here, but that's okay. They did a good job killing a bunch of workers. Taking down an extractor there, too. And a 4th base is now up for Elazer. 4th base getting replanted for Hydra, but Elazer technically might actually be in the lead here. 62-61 Harvesters. His 4th base is up, and Hydra's is not. Little Roach. Poor little Roach. Getting caught in the corner. Again, you can try to hide them, but if a player knows you have Burrow Roach, then they're looking for them. It's kind of hard to keep them hidden forever. Centrifugal hooks on the way for Hydra, making those Banelings so much faster. Corrosive Bile landing, almost killing an Overlord. Not quite there yet. Elazer's response time, very, very good indeed. Burrow Roaches popping on in to kill a hatchery. Turnabout is fair play, says Hydra. You killed my hatchery with roaches, I will kill yours with roaches too. Unless it can be defended, is there enough DPS coming in here to actually save this hatch and the burrow and the move away again there? That's hilarious. Small group of roaches up here trying to force a cancel on that hatch. The army moving on down to intercept this area. So many Banelings, though. I don't know if Elazer knows about this. Are this enough roaches to take down this hatch? It looks like it might be if they're left alone long enough. +2 attack here. 20 damage on the Acid Saliva. Another big old push right up the front. Corrosive Bile's tossed down. Nobody really super engaging to this point. If they want to, I don't know. Corrosive Bile's being tossed, and kaboosh. Roaches, Ravagers, and here are the Banelings. They're going for it. Banelings rolling on in here. They're going to try to catch all of these Hydras in the front, and they do. Right on top of the Hydras. Pretty good splits attempted here, but Banelings crashing down everywhere. So many Banelings. Wow, taking out a lot of Roaches and Ravagers. It's 158-199 total supply. Hydra has the advantage here to this point. Those Baneling attacks were massive. Now Elazer is in full retreat, trying to get on out of there. The Roaches did kill this hatch. This hatch has been replanted for Elazer, but the hit squad is coming back to deal with it, and Hydra pulls back. 176 to 200 total supply. I'm not sure if those are the most cost-efficient Banelings I've ever seen. If we take a look at the resources, let's see. Resources lost here, 13,000 to 12,000. Hydra's lost a little bit more, which makes sense in my estimation. Roaches show up, and Elazer loses the hatch there. Big crashing here. Coming on with a nice concave is Hydra. 185 to 163 total supply. Roaches on top of Roaches. +2/+2 for everybody. Nobody going for that +3 quite yet. The Hydra's in the back doing a lot of work, though. They do help very much in these situations. Are there enough Roaches to tank for the Hydras, though? I don't know. Trying to cut up to the front lines, and it is enough to force Hydra back. 162 to 123 total supply. These Roaches coming in again. The hit squad's just taking it to Elazer right now. Both players really unable to get a fourth base at any level. Replanting again, though, is Elazer, and a fourth base on the way for Hydra down here. I think maybe he feels like it's easier to defend on this lane where he's attacking so much rather than defending something that's so far away from his main triumvirate of hatcheries. Woo! Roaches heading on north for a Hydra. Roaches and Ravagers for Elazer. Roaches, Ravagers all day. I think we got rid of the Mutas at some point. We did indeed. There are still Hydras coming out for Elazer. No attempt at Lurkers, though, which is surprising. A pretty good, well-placed Lurker ball can do a lot of damage to a Ravager ball on the other side of things, especially Roaches as they take extra damage from those Lurkers. Base up and running. 17 workers there. Base almost up and running. Long distance mining going on for Elazer down in that area. Some Burrow Roach trying to be sneaky once again. There's a Spore Crawler here, but no units to actually defend what they can see. Pushing up here. Now there are Lurkers on the field for Elazer. So there we go. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Lurkers getting some spines off there and maybe making Hydra feel a little bit reluctant to really push on in here. No, he's going for it. He's taking spines to the face. He does actually lose a roach to them. These guys going to unburrow anytime soon? I don't know. I'm not sure if Hydra remembers that they are there. Crucibles do manage to kill a couple Overlords in tandem. Nicely done there indeed. 24 workers at this base. A couple roaches trying to hold things on. Lurkers spining on in. Hydra just takes them to the head now. I'm not sure if that's the greatest idea or not, but a speedling group going to sneak on over and try to kill this base. They should be able to hold on against this number of roaches as there are only 2. Crucibles landing and not actually hitting any of these lurkers. I'm kind of surprised by that. Getting right on in, surrounding the roaches. The roaches can't do anything against this many lings. Do they have attack upgrades? I don't think they do. It doesn't really matter at this point. Lurkers trying to come in to burrow. Defensive Lurkers trying to make something happen here as well. And Lurker actually harassing on this line too, trying to deal with the income of gas for Hydra here. And yes, the Lurkers did manage to chase away those lings. Got 4 kills there. Not many drones there died. But still, it was enough. Free Lurker! Free Lurker ends up dying there too. This Hydra is trying to actually snipe off these lings individually, piece by piece by piece by piece. And doing fairly well at it too. APM for these players, over 400 throughout the game, about over 500 now on average right now for the players. Hydra and Elazer. Crucible 1, 2, and 3. Not hitting anything there at all. Lurker's trying to burrow into good spots to actually get attacks off, and Hydra just doesn't want to hold still long enough to let that happen. Actually finding an opening here. He can actually threaten this 4th base and attack if he wants to, but there are so many Ravagers for Hydra. That Crucible has so much potential to just lay waste to Elazer's army. He doesn't really want to do it. There are some mutas in production for Hydra too. He's chosen to go for mutas. Bailing attack! Nicely done. Getting 7 workers on that one attack there. Crucibles landing. Coming up from the south side here is Elazer, and the north side too. Hydras and Lurkers stabbing on in. Can they get through? Neither player really wants to give up at this point, but the mutas. The mutaflog is huge. Goodbye, Hydras. Thanks for playing. You guys are totally gone. There are a lot of low health roaches here for Elazer, but he's actually able to take out Hydra's ground forces. The question, however, is going to be, what do we do about these mutas as they are laying waste to everything that remains on the ground? Lurkers, again, they kind of stuff on the ground, don't they? Yes, they do. They're trying to run away, trundle away, trying to fake on back out. No, absolutely dying. Is that another bailing attack? Another bailing attack up here. Just morphing in bailings piece by piece by piece. Roach attack here for Elazer, killing this base once again. This hatchery is on cursed ground. There's no way it can be allowed to live because of the curses placed upon it by a gypsy so many years ago. 123 to 96 total supply. Hydra is definitely in the lead to this point. Can the roaches get the hatch before they all die? Nice burrow. Nice burrow. And one more shot. One more acid saliva blast. And the hatchery explodes along with the banelings. So all the roaches die, but that was probably worth it for them. Base up here. Base now up here for Elazer. I think he's actually up on base count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. For Hydra, Hydra's had a really hard time holding on to that 5th base he's wanted for so long. Income tab, 47 to 42 harvesters. Hydra definitely up in that count. I just don't know what Elazer is planning on doing against this many mutas. He has Hydras in production, which is great. Does he have any infestors? No, he does not have any infestors. Ravagers okay, I guess, against mutas if you want them to be, but here comes the mutaflock. No air defense whatsoever in this location. All these drones are going to die. Trying to come in with the Hydras and take them down, but the Hydras are too slow. I think 8, 9, 10, 11 drones getting destroyed. Another full group of drones being destroyed here. Nice burrow by Elazer trying to save them, burrowing them right on in there. The army trying to sneak on through while the army for Elazer is otherwise occupied up on here because these mutas are tearing apart that hatch. They're going to get it for sure. Quick spine, enough to chase away that small attack from Hydra, but flying up again is going to kill this hatchery and that hatchery. There's no anti-air at all here for Elazer. 152 to 85 total supply. Can he get the hatch? He gets the hatch. And can Elazer push through with what he has down here? I don't know that he can. There are changelings mixed in. They decided to not follow the army, though. Trying to stop an attack, trying to find a good angle, but the muta's coming from the backside. Everybody on the ground is absolutely trapped here. No, Elazer manages to slip on out. Slip out and then decides to stand and fight it. That's it. A good game. Well played from Elazer. Elazer is defeated. Hydra is victorious. And Elazer has left the game. Well, that was a pretty good ZVZ. Some real good non-stop action there. A lot of Roach Ravager, a lot of Baneling attacks there from Hydra with the mutas too. That muta switch, I think, did it for Hydra. Elazer did no spine or spore crawlers rather at these bases he needed to keep alive. He had no infestors, he had no corruptors, he had nothing that could really deal with them. Hydras in large numbers do well, but in the end, I mean, how many Hydras did he lose in this game? I can't tell in this interface. Meh. Anyway, he lost a lot of Hydras. It felt like in just small groups. He never had that big group that could stand toe-to-toe with the Mutas and actually take them down. So, well played by Hydra. Good choices there. Elazer did some nice job actually taking down these hatcheries too. Actually, did he ever get this one? Maybe it was just this one he killed, but either way, was very active on the other side of the map. But Hydra, with the Mutaflock, just enough to take down those 2 bases. Elazer was out of money, out of supply, and tapped out. So, that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.